Hello. Sorry. I was eating cottage cheese and I didn't want to look all crazy. Well, cottage cheese and pineapple. Okay. I heard, oh, don't come in, Nadra's. One of our bookmarkers fell through. Okay. Sorry, I had a piece of pineapple stuck in my tooth. Here we go, here we go. Chapter 13. The sad, sad tale of the sorrowing princess with a speck in her heart, and what will happen when she had ended it, where the reader must read for himself if he would know. Oh, sorry. Stop, honey. What are you doing? Clyde. Clyde. Stop. Okay. Little Baron and dear Lord Bulger, began the crystal-eyed damosel, after she had eased her soul of its load of woe by 3 long and deep, deep sighs. Know then that I am not the damosel Glowstone, but none other than the royal princess Crystallina herself, that whose hair I combed should comb mine, and she whom I have served for 10 long years should have served me. There's Clyde on the floor over there, eating a bone. And to think, O princess, I burst out joyfully, that my beloved Bulger should have been the first to discover that she who was seated at the steps of the crystal throne was not entitled to the seat. To think that his subtle intellect should have been the first to scent out the wrong that had been done thee. His keen eye, the first to go to the bottom of truth's well. But, fair princess, I am bursting with impatience to know how thou thyself didst ever discover the wrong that has been done thee. That thou shalt speedily know, little Baron, answered Crystallina, and that thou mayst know all that I know, I'll begin at the very beginning. The day I was born, there was a great rejoicing in the land of the Mickaminkies, and the people gathered in front of the royal palace and laughed and cried by turns. So happy were they to think that they were to be governed by another princess after Queen Galaxa's heart should have run down, for many years ago a bad king had made them very unhappy, and they had hoped and prayed that no more such would come to reign over them. And pretty soon one of them began to tell others what he thought the little princess would be like. She will be the fairest that ever sat upon the crystal throne. Her hands and feet will be like pearls tipped with coral, her hair whiter than the river's foam, and from her beautiful eyes will burst the radiance of her pure soul and her heart. Oh, her heart will be like a little lump of frozen water, so clear and so transparent will it be, so like a bit of purest crystal, bright and flawless as a diamond of the first water, and therefore let her be called the Princess Crystallina, or Maid with the Crystal Heart. Forthwith the cry went up, aye, let her be called Crystallina, or the Maid with the Crystal Heart. And Queen Galaxa heard the cry of her people and sent them word that it should be as they wished, that I should be the Princess Crystallina. But ah me, that I should have lived to tell it. After a few days, the nurse came to my royal mother, wringing her hands and pouring down a flood of tears. Throwing herself on her knees, she whispered to the queen, "Royal mistress, bid me die rather than tell thee what I know." Being ordered to speak, the nurse informed Queen Galaxa that she had that day for the first time held me up to the light and discovered that there was a speck in my heart. The queen uttered a cry of horror and swooned. When she came to herself, she directed that I should be brought to her and held up to the light so she might see for herself. Alas, too true, and there was a speck in my heart, sure enough. I was not worthy of the sweet name which her loving people had bestowed upon me. They would turn from me with horror. They would never consent to have me for their queen when the truth should become known. They would not have moved by a mother's prayer. They would not be moved by a mother's prayers. They would turn a deaf ear to everyone who should be bold enough to advise them to accept a princess with a speck in her heart, when they had thought they were getting one well deserved of the title they had bestowed upon her. Queen Galaxa knew that something must be done at once, that it would be time and labor lost to attempt to reason with the disappointed people, so she set to work thinking up some way out of her trouble. Now it so happened, little Baron, that the very day I came into the world, a babe had been born to one of Queen Galaxa's serving women, and so hastily summoning the women, she ordered her to bring her babe into the royal bedchamber and leave it there, promising it should be brought up as my foster sister. But no sooner had the serving woman gone her way, rejoicing, than the nurse was ordered to change the children in the cradle, and in a few moments Glowstone was wrapped in my richly embroidered blanket, and I swathed up in her plain coverlets. How things went for several years I know not, but one day, how well I recollect it. My little mind was puzzled by hearing Crystalina cry out, "Nay, nay, dear mamma, 'tis not fair, I like it not. Each day when thou comest to know thou givest Glowstone 10 kisses, and me but a single one." Then would Queen Galaxa smile a sad smile and bestow some bauble upon Crystalina to coax her back to contentment again. And so we went on, Crystalina and I, from one year to another, until we were little maids well grown, and she sat on the throne and wore royal purple stitched with gold, and I plain white. But still, most of the kisses fell to my share, and I marveled not a little at it, but dared not ask why it was. However, once when I was alone with Queen Galaxa, seated on my cushion in the corner, plying my needle and thinking of the sail we were to have on the river that day, suddenly I was startled to see the queen throw herself on her knees in front of me and feel her clamp me in her arms and cover my face and head with tears and kisses as she sobbed and moaned. "Oh, my babe, my lost babe, my blessings and joy, wilt never, never, never come back to me? Art gone forever? Must I give thee up? Oh, must I?" "Nay, royal lady," I stammered, and I more than wonder at her words and actions. "Thou art in a dream. Awake and see clearly. I am not Crystalina, I am Glowstone, thy foster child. I'll hie me straight and bring my royal sister right to thee." But she would not let me loose. For all answer showered more kisses on me, till I was well smothered. So tight she held me pressed against her bosom, while around and over me her long thick tresses fell like a woven mantle. And then she told me all that I have told thee, little Baron, and charged me never to impart it unto my soul in Goggle Land. And I made a solemn promise unto her that I never would. "And thou hast kept thy word like a true princess as thou art," said I cheerfully, "for I am not of thy world, fair Crystalina." Now that I have told thee the sad tale of the sorrowing princess with the speck in her heart, little baron, murmured Crystalina, fixing her large and radiant eyes upon me, there is but one more thing for me to do, and that is to let thee look through me, so that thou mightst know exactly what counsel to give. And so saying, the fair princess rose from her seat, and having placed herself in front of me with the flood of white light falling full upon her back, she lowered her black fan and bade me gaze upon the heavy heart which she had carried about with her all these years, and tell her exactly how large the speck was, where it lay, and what color it was. I was overjoyed to get an opportunity at last to look through one of the Mickaminkies, and my own heart bounded with satisfaction as I looked and looked upon that mysterious little thing, nay, rather a tiny being, living, breathing, palpitating within her breast, now slow and measured as she dwelt in thought upon her sad fate, now beating faster and faster as the hope bubbled up in her mind that possibly I might be able to counsel her so wisely that an end would come to all of her sorrow. Well, wise little baron, she murmured anxiously, what seest thou? Is it very large? In what part is it? Is it black as night, or some color less fatal? Well, we won't learn until tomorrow. Sorry, my nose is running. Okay, I know exactly where we're going to start tomorrow. That 10 minutes went by really fast. Okay. Quit procrastinating on anything and everything. Time wasted is just that, wasted. Avoid distractions and the noise around me. Block it out. The art of continuous self-love through food, through water intake, through intentional meditation and thought. Something inside of me is superior to circumstance. Is it kind? Is it true? Does it reflect my authentic self? Focus more on money and its education. Focus more on self-discipline. See the sun, honor the moon. Forward momentum. The path out of hell is through misery. Honor my journey. We are slaves to our own incessant urges to escape the present moment. Meditate, walk, journal, stretch, love animals. Leave life to wonder all it needs. Less stress, more fairy tale. Work on bettering the love I show my body through the food and beverage I put in it. With money, it's not what you make, but what you keep. Focus. Lose any ties to victim mentality. Continue to help yourself. All right, friends. We'll start there tomorrow. I didn't sleep very well last night, so I'm already tired. And I went to bed feeling tired, so it's kind of like an odd combo, yeah? But anyway, till tomorrow.